Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to dive deep into something new today.
Yeah. I am excited for this
It's called Necessary Condition Analysis.
one. Okay.
NCA for short.
Yeah, NCA.
Have you ever felt like, in sales especially, it's kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall? Just seeing what sticks.
I mean, I've never actually thrown spaghetti at a wall, but
Well, yeah. I mean, not literally.
right.
But you get the idea, right?
Yeah. Trying a bunch of different approaches, hoping one of them will get you a sale.
Exactly. So this NCA is really all about figuring out, like, what actually matters
Yeah.
for getting that sale. You know what I mean? No wasted effort.
Right. Like what's essential? What's the recipe for success?
Yeah, what are the key ingredients, right?
Exactly.
And we're looking at a guide today that walks us through, like, actually how to do this, like how to
Right.
implement NCA step by step.
Ooh, so by the end of this, the listeners will have some like actual practical takeaways.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Nice. I like that.
It's about getting those sales numbers up. So in this guide we're looking at, it talks about how NCA isn't just about finding things that might help.
Yeah, right. It's not about just this might be good or this might help a little bit. It's more like this is a must-have to be successful.
Yeah, like absolutely necessary.
Yeah. And it's about finding those like make or break elements that if you don't have them, you are definitely going to fail.
Right, so it's less about like correlation.
Yeah.
And it's more about like causation.
Yeah.
Like these things actually make a difference.
Yes.
And in this guide, the first thing they talk about is defining your goal,
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, sounds pretty basic.
Yeah. Seems pretty obvious, but
yeah.
yeah.
But I'm guessing you've seen a lot of people, skipped that step.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so easy to just kind of jump in, start doing things. Like you get so caught up in the how that you completely forget about the why.
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I even doing it?
Like, what am I actually trying to accomplish here?
Exactly.
And in this guide, they use the example of boosting lead conversions.
Yeah, because that's something that almost every sales team struggles with.
Yeah. Like, how do I get more of these leads to turn into paying customers?
Exactly.
But what's cool is this can be applied to, like, any area of sales.
All right.
Like, if you're trying to figure out why some of your customers, like, stay with you for years.
And others leave after a month.
Yeah. Or even, like, how to manage your sales team's time best so they're being as efficient as possible.
Oh, I see. So lots of different applications, but starting with the why is key.
Totally. Like, remember that time we were trying to boost sales in that one region and we just couldn't figure out why they were lagging behind?
Oh, yeah. What was it? It turned out to be like the sales team just wasn't following up with leads fast enough.
Yeah. And if we had used this whole NCA thing, we probably could have avoided all those headaches.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if we'd known that fast follow-up was like a must-have for conversions.
Right. Then we could have focused our efforts right away on that.
Absolutely. And, the guide actually emphasizes getting input from different people from the start.
Yeah, like your sales team.
Managers, even folks from marketing, maybe product development.
Yeah. Because it's important for everyone to be on the same page, right?
Yeah.
About what success even means.
Exactly.
So, okay, we've defined our goal, right? What's next?
Now comes the exciting part, I think. Figuring out what the potential necessary conditions are.
Right, like what are those make or break factors that we were talking about before?
Exactly.
And the guide mentions a bunch of examples.
Yeah, like making sure you're targeting the right customer.
Right, like customer demographics.
Making sure your product actually solves the problems your customers are having.
Right, and making sure you're providing excellent service.
Yes, and that your pricing makes sense.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Right.
Because if your pricing is too high, people are going to walk away.
Exactly.
It's like a detective game almost.
Oh, yeah. Trying to find all the clues.
What do you think? Our listeners, I mean.
Yeah, listeners.
If you had to pick, like one thing, one must-have eye, for success in your sales process, what would it be?
Yeah.
Is it building rapport with your customers?
Mm.
Or is it having that like deep understanding of their needs?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or maybe something else entirely.
Right.
But once you have those potential necessary conditions,
Yeah.
You have your ideas, then it's on to the next step.
Right, which is collecting data and then analyzing it to see if your initial hunches were right.
Right, like were your suspicions actually correct?
Yeah, does it all pan out?
Yeah. And this part, I feel like, can be a little intimidating.
Uh-huh.
This is like data, spreadsheets, charts.
Yeah, it can get overwhelming. But the guide really emphasizes quality over quantity.
Right. It's not about drowning in spreadsheet.
Yeah. It's about finding the right data to tell the story you need. Like if
Okay.
we think back to that regional sales example we were talking about,
Yeah.
we could have looked at, the CRM data, specifically how long it was taking to close deals from different places, were the leads coming in online or through referrals,
Yes.
things like that.
So, like, the average time it took to close a deal based on, where the lead came from.
Exactly. And that would give us a clue, right?
Yeah. And you might also look at things like, customer surveys. Try to understand what their pain points are.
Oh, for sure. And, you could even do a little digging into what your competitors are doing.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah,
Always good to know what your competition's up to.
exactly.
And then this guide also mentions, like, actually visualizing your data.
Right. So you're not just looking at numbers on a spreadsheet. Turn it into something you can easily understand.
Yes. Like, make a chart or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very much a visual learner, so I love that.
Me too.
I feel like it can just make everything so much clearer.
Absolutely. It's all about finding the story that the data is telling you.
Yeah, and then seeing if that story, right, matches up with what you thought were the necessary conditions.
Right. Did you identify the right things?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So then the next step is validation.
Right. So why is that so important? Like, what does validation actually mean in this context?
Well, we all have biases, right? And we might think something is really important, but the data might actually be telling us a different story.
Right. Like, what we believe and what's actually true might be totally different things.
Exactly. And the guide, it gives us this great example. Let's say you believe that for your sales team to close deals, they absolutely have to have like really in-depth product knowledge.
Right. So they really need to understand the ins and outs of the products they're selling.
Yeah.
Okay. So then how would you go about actually proving that?
Well, one way would be to compare the conversion rates of people on your sales team, but like compare people who have different levels of product knowledge.
Ooh, that's a good idea. So, like, see if the people who have a deeper understanding of the products are actually the ones closing more deals.
Yeah, exactly. And if they are, if those with more product knowledge consistently do better, then that's pretty strong evidence that that's a necessary condition.
Right. That really is a must-have.
Yeah. And of course, you want to get feedback from other people too.
Oh, yeah, to make sure, like, you're not missing anything.
Yeah, like maybe there's something you didn't think of, avoid any blind spots.
Right, because everyone's going to have a different perspective, right?
Right.
So it's about getting that fresh perspective.
Right.
And then also making sure your findings are solid.
Exactly. And then once you've done that, then comes, the really fun part, I think.
Yeah,
Step 6.
which is,
Putting your insights into action.
yeah. So we've done all this work,
We've analyzed, we've validated,
right?
and now we get to see, like, does it actually work?
Right. Does it actually make a difference?
Yeah.
So how do we do that? How do we put these insights into action?
Well, remember all those, like, necessary conditions that we identified earlier?
Yeah.
Now we use that knowledge to actually fine-tune our strategies.
Mhm.
So, like, if we learned that fast follow-up was critical, like for closing those deals,
Yeah.
maybe we set up, automatic reminders in our CRM system.
Oh, it's smart. So you don't forget to follow up with anyone.
Right. Or maybe we start, like, really closely tracking our response times.
Yeah, that's a good one. Just to make sure you're hitting those goals, those time goals for getting back to people quickly.
Exactly. And what if we found that customers, they really value those personalized recommendations?
Oh, yeah. Like, you really know me and you know what I need.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what could we do?
Well, maybe we, like, invest in training for our sales team.
Oh, yeah. To help them ask better questions.
Yes. Or maybe we give them access to, like, data about their customers so they can tailor their pitch.
Yeah, so they can really understand their customers' needs
Right.
and give them exactly what they want.
Exactly.
I love it.
It's all about using those insights to create a sales process that is optimized for success.
So, what does this all mean for our listeners?
Yeah, what's the takeaway here?
It means you can stop guessing and you can start focusing your energy on what actually matters,
Yeah.
what actually moves the needle, so to speak.
Yeah, you don't have to waste time on things that don't matter.
Right. You can really hone in on what works. And the cool thing is, this NCA thing, it's not just for sales.
Oh, yeah. That's what's so great about it. You can use it in other parts of your life.
Oh, yeah. Think about, like, your career or, like, if you have personal projects you're working on.
Even your relationships.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it, right?
Yeah.
What are the, like, non-negotiables, the must-haves in those areas of your life.
Yeah. What are those essential ingredients for success? Not just in sales, but in, like, everything.
Exactly. And NCA can help you figure that out.
Love it.
So, yeah, listeners, go out there and find those must-haves.
Yeah.
Crush it.
Until next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.